Welcome back to Reddit Stories, where we explore real stories, controversial situations, and untold emotions, all from the Reddit community. Today, we're diving into a story that has Reddit buzzing, a story about betrayal, parental expectations, and the consequences of rash decisions. A son secretly spends his mother's entire college fund on virtual in-game items. And when his mother finds out, she confiscates his most precious thing. The story is titled AITA for confiscating my son's gaming console after he secretly spent his college fund on microtransactions. This is one of the most upvoted and debated AITA posts of the past month. And in this video, we'll walk through the whole story, explore the powerful reactions from the community, get updates from the narrator, and learn some powerful lessons from this very situation. Brace yourself, because you won't believe what happens next. This story comes from Reddit user Mac, we'll call her OP, a single mother struggling between her love for her son and the responsibility of guiding him through his future. OP begins by saying that she has been saving for years for her son's college fund, a 17-year-old boy named Max. As a single mother, she's not wealthy, but she tries to put a small amount of money into a savings account each month that he'll receive when he reaches college age. Everything changed one morning. OP received a notification from her bank that her and her son's joint savings account had been nearly emptied, more than $15,000 gone in less than 48 hours. At first, she thought it was a bug or a hack, but after a few calls and verifications, the bank confirmed that it was her son, Max, who had made those transactions. Not for tuition, not for books, but for in-game microtransactions, including rare skins, upgrades, loot boxes, and even coins in online games like FIFA, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact. OP was stunned, heartbroken, angry, all mixed emotions. She called Max down to the living room and asked him to explain. Max initially denied it, then burst into tears and admitted that he had been gradually transferring money out, buying top-up cards, and investing in game characters. He explained that he wanted to stand out, wanted to be a pro player, and even would make money back by streaming. OP was silent for a few seconds, then went to unplug the game console, removed the console, and said, "From now on, no more games. And no more college funds." Max was furious, screaming, calling his mother a dream destroyer, that "you never understood me, and this is how I invest in my future." OP remained silent, hugging the gaming device and hiding it, along with all her bank cards. She felt lost, not only about her son's actions, but also about the sacrifices she had made. After several days of not speaking, Max left a letter. In it, he said he felt ashamed and disoriented. He apologized for disappointing his mother, but also begged to make amends and asked her to give him a chance to pay it back by getting a part-time job, cutting down on gaming time, and taking his studies seriously. OP wrote that she didn't know whether she should trust him again. Her heart was broken, but at the same time, she knew this could be a pivotal moment in her son's journey to adulthood. That's why she posted this on Reddit, to ask the community for advice. Had she gone too far by confiscating her son's gaming device and effectively losing his chance at college? Or was it necessary for him to learn responsibility? The OP's post exploded on Reddit. Within hours, the OP's post by Mac climbed to the top 10 posts on the asshole subreddit. The story sparked a fierce debate, with tens of thousands of upvotes and comments in just 24 hours. The Reddit community's reactions were extremely diverse. Many people sided with the OP, You actual finance. Guru wrote, "You did nothing wrong. This is a reasonable disciplinary action. The son needs to learn a lesson about financial responsibility before he becomes an adult." See, you nanny knows, all commented, "A 16-year-old isn't just spending money, he's spending his future. You don't need to feel guilty about confiscating a video game console. You protect your peace. Some games have predatory mechanics. Actions like yours are a preventative measure to protect your family." Some comments try to understand both sides. You mindful. It's reasonable to confiscate the device, but it's also important to have a deep conversation about trust and expectations to avoid future sneaking around. Goals, mental health. Advocate. I hope you're also paying attention to your son's feelings. His actions were wrong, but you need to understand why he acted that way. He may be under peer pressure or addicted to the game. Comments criticizing the OP. You, too harsh. Mum, you should have talked to your son before punishing him. Taking away the game may make him more resistant or secretive. You let kids be kids. He's a minor. You should monitor his account, not give him access to that much money. The most upvoted comment came from You Gamer Dad FTW. As a father and a gamer, I say this: if my kid did that, I'd do the same thing. Games are for fun, not to ruin your future. Sometimes being a parent means being tough, even when your heart breaks. The debate below the top comment exploded like a courtroom. Some argued about whether microtransactions should be banned in games for kids. Others recounted similar stories with their own kids. Some started talking about setting up an education fund that wouldn't be accessible until their kids were in college. The story sparked a lot of discussion beyond the main topic. Are microtransactions in games a form of child gambling? Should parents teach their children about finances early? Should they give their children access to assets they are not old enough to manage? Is it the game's fault or the parents' fault? After receiving overwhelming support and thoughtful advice from the Reddit community, OP returned to the post after nearly a week, giving an update to the tens of thousands of people who had followed the story. The post began with a heartfelt thank you to the community for helping her feel not alone. Summary of updates. About her son. OP said that after a few days of banning, her son began to open up. She had a serious and calm talk with her son. He admitted that his friends had encouraged him to participate in limited events in the game. Feelings of inferiority and group pressure made him not think clearly. About the tuition. OP worked with the bank and a lawyer to transfer all of his son's tuition to a conditional trust account. He wouldn't be able to withdraw a single cent without proper enrollment paperwork and a guardian's confirmation. On the console. After proving that he had learned his lesson, her son was given the console back, but with a strict set of rules, including time limits and spending controls in the game. On how they feel. The two have taken time to rebuild trust. OP says that while she is still worried, she feels like her son is maturing, especially when he apologizes and offers to help around the house to make up for his mistake. OP shares that she feels relieved, but also deeply moved. She realizes that being a mother isn't just about doling out punishment, but also about teaching with patience and love. The responses from Reddit have helped her see the issue from multiple perspectives and feel more confident in her decision. I used to feel like a terrible mother, but seeing strangers speak up for me made me cry. Thank you, Reddit, for making me feel like I'm not alone in my parenting struggles. This story is not just about a confiscated game console or a sum of money being spent. It is about a mother's internal battle between reason and emotion. OP is furious when she discovers that her son has secretly spent all of her tuition money, something she has saved for years. It is a feeling of betrayal by the person she loves the most. However, alongside the anger is disappointment and heartache. OP does not want to be the bad guy in the eyes of her child, but she cannot be lenient with this serious act. The son's emotions are also a point of conflict. He is not fully aware of the consequences, but feels ashamed and insecure when his mother loses trust. This is a situation that any parent can encounter, where love and discipline collide in a tense manner. The Reddit community acts as a mirror and a spiritual support for OP. The overwhelming support makes OP feel like she's not being too harsh or cruel. Reddit helps to multi-dimensionalize the story. The comments are not only supportive, but also offer perspectives on social pressure, teen gaming addiction, and financial responsibility. Reddit is the catalyst for OP to take systematic action, from setting up a trust account to establishing fair rules for gaming consoles. A community of strangers who offer practical and compassionate advice makes Reddit truly a healing social network. Character analysis OP. Mother. A mother who is firm, loving, but unyielding when her child makes a big mistake. She represents the modern parent, strict yet a good listener, and seeks to restore relationships rather than just punish. Son. A teenager who is easily influenced by peers and outside influences. Somewhat irresponsible, but not stubborn. The fact that he admits his mistake, apologizes proactively, and wants to make it right shows potential for change. Reddit community. A collective character is important not only to clarify the issue, but also to inspire trust, encouragement, and create a foundation for the protagonist's development. Lessons learned. Love does not mean indulgence. As a parent, there will be times when you have to make difficult decisions, even if it makes your child cry or angry. Because teaching your child right from wrong is a greater gift than material things. Technology and games are not bad, but they need to be controlled. Children need to be guided in how to spend money, how to play games responsibly, and understand the true value of things like education and responsibility. Open your heart to listen to the community. When you feel alone, find a positive space, like Reddit, where you are not judged but empathized with. Mistakes are part of the journey of growth. It's not the mistakes that matter, but how we react, learn, and correct them afterward. Thank you for sticking with Real Reddit Moments until the end of today's story. Today's story is not just about a console or a wiped-out savings account. It's a lesson about trust, responsibility, and family love. And sometimes, difficult decisions are the greatest expression of love. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts. See you in the next stories on Reddit Stories, where everyday moments become memorable.